go. Okay. Hi, everyone. So this is a meeting here between Rabbit Hole Roasters and Pepe Argüello from Finca Santa Cruz. They recently bought some of Pepe's amazing coffee. And
yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yes, it's delicious. I can't wait to roast them, actually. It's going to be soon, next week, I think.
Next week. That's
Yeah.
super exciting.
Yeah.
Well, Julio and Daniela from La Nacional, and we are the importers representing some Mexican producers in Canada.
Yeah.
And this is our best way to try and go further with traceability and transparency. So hopefully
that's great.
This is a good example to set for everyone and to follow along, right?
Yeah, thank you very much for doing this, and gracias, Pepe, por tu tiempo. And I'm very grateful because, yeah, it's with the connection and the time zones and everything. It's like we're 3 different time zones, and so it's not the easiest.
Está diciendo Pepe, está la presentación. Ahorita está muy contento de tener tus cafés y pues bueno, estamos todos muy emocionados de poder presentar una parte de tu trabajo y bueno, en este caso con David para pues, la presentación de tu trabajo, ¿no?
Dice que los va a tostar la siguiente semana, así que vamos a estar súper atentos para poder comprarnos uno. Ya luego te llevamos.
Está bien. Sí, están ricos esos lotes de Márago y catorra amarillo están muy ricos. El geisha también.
Yeah, you let us know if you understand everything, David. I know your Spanish is good.
It's okay. It's just there. But sometimes like face-to-face is a little bit easier now with sometimes the connection issue, but like the speaking part is like a little bit more difficult. Like I'm just rusty, and my only trip to Spanish-speaking countries, of course, this year it didn't happen. So I don't have the chance to practice just a little bit, just to like keep a really minimum ability to speak. But with the French, like I can understand a lot of Spanish.
Yeah, it translates way easier.
I spent about 1 year in Central and South America as well, 10 years ago, but still like it stays there. Yeah.
Awesome. This is your chance to practice a little bit more.
Yeah. While you record as well, so that's interesting.
Well, if you want to get started with some of the questions, that'd be awesome. So you can start the conversation rolling.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even have the list of questions now because it's on my phone and I'm talking to you. So, but
okay.
Like the main points that I really want to kind of know more about is that like I know what I need to run my business here, but I don't know what you guys at La Nacional need. But I kind of maybe get a better idea of what you guys would need, but I have no idea what people like at origin would need because it's easy for us like gringos here in Canada to just say like, oh, I feel that it's good for them. Like this sounds good for them, but we don't know. And that's the whole point of this, is that I think we really need to get in the mind frame of just like asking what's needed there, because whatever is doing better at origin is going to come back tenfold to us as well. So it's always in the optic of like putting kind of the farmer first and see like, hey, what would you need from an import business and what would you need from a roasting partner for the short term and for the long term? And so that's basically like my main general question, like how does Pepe would see like a mutually beneficial relationship through you with Rabbit Hole Roasters? Like what would be ideal for him, not for me, just like for him.
Okay. Let me just do a little translating.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I'm sorry. Like in a year, I'm gonna do all of this in Spanish, like easy, okay? But just not today.
Let's do that. Well, okay. Pepe, pues dice básicamente que normalmente como tostadores o como personas al final de la cadena del café, creen saber qué es lo necesario para ayudar a los productores y a la finca desde origen, pero que realmente están tan lejos que no es posible saberlo todo el tiempo. Entonces, que a él le gustaría preguntarte a ti directamente, ¿qué sería y qué consideras tú necesario para mantener una relación de trabajo que sea, beneficiosa para ambas partes? Incluso para nosotros como importadores, dice que él podría darse una idea de qué es lo que realmente necesitamos, pero para ayudarlos a ustedes como origen, como finca, y él está seguro de que de esa manera, haciéndose cargo de su parte con la relación con ustedes, ese beneficio se verá reflejado al final de la cadena también. Entonces, él quiere preguntarte directamente, ¿qué crees tú que sería lo más importante en tu relación, tanto con nosotros como importadores, como con él como tostador?
Ok. Pues primero que nada, creo que lo que hacemos aquí en la finca es tratar de cambiar la manera de vender café. Vender café aquí en México es complicado. Nos pagan muy poco por un café de calidad y que realmente nos cuesta mucho trabajo producirlo. También hay barras, hay empresas que sí lo pagan, porque hay barras muy buenas en México que están pagando realmente el verdadero valor del café. Pero en fincas como las de aquí de Chiapas, la finca de nosotros, que ya tenemos volúmenes más grandes, igual ya es algo complicado. El tema de la alianza y el grupo que tenemos aquí en México para con la Nacional y poder vender los cafés fuera de México, creo que la alianza entre la Nacional y Finca Santa Cruz en este caso, pues es muy importante porque nosotros acá vemos la parte de poder hacer cafés consistentes, que sean de muy buena calidad. Necesitamos aliados estratégicos que puedan difundir nuestro café en otras partes del mundo, en este caso en Canadá, ¿no? Para nosotros es fundamental trabajar con ustedes y que ustedes también puedan dar a conocer lo que hacemos aquí en la finca. Y igual con este tipo de llamadas con los clientes, igual es una forma muy factible de poder darles a conocer el trabajo y el esmero que estamos haciendo para obtener estos cafés, ¿no? El tema de vender cafés especiales acá.
He's saying that as of right now, sometimes selling the higher scored specialty coffee in like Mexico or nationally, I mean, is a bit more difficult. Yeah, it's challenging. It does sell because coffee, like specialty coffee, is growing more and more in Mexico. And I mean, I do want to point out that I do think most countries are new to it anyways. So in Mexico, it is developing as we speak. It's just a bit harder to switch the way we think about coffee. But he says that he can sell the coffee in Mexico and that it's getting to a point where people are recognizing the effort that they put into getting these lots out. But it's for him, it'd be ideal for us to be the ones representing the farm and spreading the word of what it is that they do and all the effort it takes to produce these coffees. So
el tema es como explicarles que cada quien tiene un valor en la cadena, ¿no? El valor que le estamos dando nosotros en la calidad del café que ya está aquí en las tierras que tenemos, poder hacer un buen proceso, poder hacer un buen almacenamiento, un buen envío. Creo que es lo que nos concierne hasta esta parte. El tema de la alianza con la Nacional, que puedan puedan colocar esos cafés en barras de especialidad en Canadá, responsables con el grano que les llega y con el productor. Creo que eso es de lo más valioso que podemos tener, ¿no?
And, okay. He says that it's really important to be a part of this kind of chains, that everyone has got a responsibility throughout the coffee chain, where he can be in charge of producing and preserving and even storing the coffees in the best way. But we also share all the responsibility for this to be translated all the way unto the last person, which would be the consumer, right?
Yes.
So he feels that's one of the specific ways of making good alliances, like the one he considers he has with La Nacional. And so getting all of this in a way that's transparent enough that everyone feels comfortable being part of this relationship more than actual business solution, right? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep going.
El tema de precios creo que es uno de los más importantes. Nosotros le damos un valor al café de acuerdo al grado de dificultad y la calidad que nosotros ofrecemos, ¿no? Tenemos un trabajo, nosotros somos productores, pero creo que la generación en la que estamos trabajando, que nos concierne a varios del grupo, ya catamos los cafés, hacemos procesos más inocuos, o sea, que quizás antes eran, no sé, no decir sucios, sino que antes no se le daba el valor al café como realmente un alimento. Ahorita creo que el tema de poder hacer alimentos más inocuos, cafés más limpios, hacer procesos más específicos y poder generar consistencia de un año al otro, creo que es lo que le genera valor a esta cadena. Poder catar los cafés, poder identificarlos, poder ofrecer las notas que nosotros sentimos desde acá a los cafés y poder llevarlas a la barra allá en Canadá, creo que es algo que vale mucho, ¿no? Creo que podemos ser consistentes este año y los siguientes. Y lo que nosotros esperamos de esta alianza con la Nacional y con Rabbit, pues es que también ellos puedan trabajar bien los cafés que nosotros hacemos, que puedan ofrecerles al consumidor allá en Canadá y poderles hablar de la finca, poderles hablar de todos los que hacemos y cómo llega el café mexicano a Canadá y por qué tiene tan buena calidad quizás, para que puedan explicarlo y que le puedan dar valor a toda la cadena. Eso vale mucho para nosotros. El tema de poder mencionar toda esta trazabilidad.
Okay, muy bien. So he thinks that making the transparency and traceability the most important part of any relationship during the coffee chain is essential. What will benefit him the most, and just be very clear about all the practices and all the hard work that he's doing, and that I think
about the he's talking about the seriously way, that to work to the end, like in this case to you, Dave, and Rabbit Hole. And that's very important, because that's always been a problem, right? Like you get someone in between, that's the one that sometimes always makes the money, not in this case, because that's why we make all these alliances, and that's why we work with we're very proud of that. And for them, that's a value that has to be, because they get paid like the fair amount that they ask for, and also
for sure.
They're proud to see their work, their hard work, in a very nice roaster just like yours. So that's very complimentary for the whole work, right? Because it's all like a human feeling. I mean, like to be proud.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I don't know if maybe I caught a glimpse of what he said, but like I just have like follow-up question about like how he views like how it would be like easy to work and plan for, like, let's just say it's a random numbers, but like let's just say 3 harvests like in a row, you know, to kind of like guarantee a certain types of like volume at like a certain price. Does that make sense? Or it's like too far in the future? So again, like this is from my perspective here, like as a roaster, I don't know if it's beneficial. I don't know if it's doable. But if, for example, we say, okay, I'm going to take X amount of coffee that scores between this and this. So like it doesn't have to be always the highest quality. That's the point, right? Is that if the scoring of a coffee like is a bit less 1 year, is like, I'm still going to buy it. You know what I mean? Like if I expect a 90-point coffee and I expect the geisha, for example, then of course this is a bit more specific, but now I'm talking about like, let's just say like 20 bags of just like an 84-point coffee, you know, that's doing like a contract over 3 harvests guaranteed. And then we have like options to buy more maybe, but like just guarantee a minimum. Is that helpful? Longer term to plan for multiple harvests in a row, especially for like the bulk coffee?
Okay.
Pepe está comentando que una manera de hacer una relación más sólida es, si es, por ejemplo, para ti conveniente tener un contrato, bueno, tener un contrato de 3, 2 cosechas adelantadas, o sea, que la finca se pueda comprometer a tener la misma calidad que se esté presentando, o básicamente es cómo te beneficiarías tú con un trato así, con un contrato, o sea, con como dicen ellos, un deal de ese tipo.
O si es factible.
O si es
Dice
factible.
que, por ejemplo, te pediría, no sé, digamos que si va a querer lotes especiales, pues podría ser como un geisha de 90 puntos ya más específico, pero que en general a lo que él se refiere con este contrato de 3 años sería algo más
simple, o sea,
simple, como de
buen café,
84 puntos,
pero mayor volumen.
Ok, sí, es muy benéfico. El tema de los volúmenes no me queda claro cuánto es volumen para ellos, pero hacer contratos a largo plazo creo que sí es muy importante para nosotros como finca, porque ya nos da como que la perspectiva de a qué vamos a llegar los próximos años, ¿no? O que tenemos la seguridad de poder vender algo seguro. Y el tema de ser una finca y que el café sea solo de nosotros es que podemos dar consistencia a esos cafés y podemos hacer ese tipo de contratos, ese tipo de fijaciones con precios también, porque sabemos nuestro punto de equilibrio en lo que queremos ganar y no es como ahorita se ve en la bolsa, ¿no? Que sube, baja, a veces ni siquiera salen los costos de producción del café para productores que viven al día a día o al año con año de no saber cuánto van a producir, de si su calidad va a ser la misma o no. En el caso de hacer un contrato con precios fuera de bolsa, por eso estamos dentro del mercado de la especialidad, ¿no? Para poder ser más estables. Las fincas que siguen viviendo con el precio de bolsa van para abajo. Yo tengo amigos acá cerca que están mal económicamente por eso, porque no son consistentes. En cambio, si tú sabes tus precios, sabes lo justo que puedes ganar o lo que debes de ganar, puedes hacer, claro que sí, un contrato a largo plazo en el cual pues sepamos que todas las partes vamos a estar bien, ¿no? Y en el tema de volúmenes, nosotros como finca sabemos cuánto vamos a producir este año, tenemos un pronóstico de lo que vamos a producir el siguiente y pues creo que es muy factible hacer esto.
Great. Okay. So he's saying that, first of all, he would like to have a more
Specific
specific
about
idea.
when we talk about bulk, you know,
Yeah.
like quantity, how much, right? Because
He's saying that it definitely helps a farmer, specifically when all these contracts and deals are planned in the realms of specialty coffee. He says that probably doing this based on the
stock market
wouldn't be something feasible, but definitely that's why he's working with specialty coffee, and that's what's given him an advantage over some people, that even farms that are surrounding his farm. Specialty coffee has been the only way out for them to actually make profit and be be
more competitive with the other situation.
He says that it would be really helpful to do contracts like that,
because they know how much coffee they produce, they know how much coffee they're going to produce this year, and they have they can, if everything goes, you know, good, they know how much coffee they will have next year. So when they have like contracts on advance, they give them a relief because they know that they can work, just focus on that, and for sure that that coffee is gonna, you know, go out. So that gives them lots of confidence just to keep working and, you know, taking care of the land.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. In terms of volume, it's always, for us, it kind of varies a little bit. And especially now, like, for example, like it's always hard for me because I'm new to this. It's like we've been open for 2 years barely. But now with COVID, right now, everything is shut down in Quebec again. So like the first confinement, we lost 100% of our wholesale, like overnight. And then now it's more like we're running at like maybe, I don't know, 40% maybe of what we usually do. So this always brings like uncertainty to us as well. But in terms of volume, like as how I am, like with the contracts that I have with other countries right now and other businesses at the moment, I say I could do probably like this very harvest, I could probably do, I'd say between 12 and like 20 bags. It's probably like the range of volume that I think I could do, and it would still be pretty kind of like safe for me. So just in terms of volume, do you want to translate that first? And
yeah, sure. Dice que en realidad, en términos de volumen, ahorita más o menos podrían ser entre 12 y 20 bolsas, que...
Tonelada y media.
Sí, tonelada y media.
That's 69 kg, right?
Pues manejamos las dos formas. Manejamos ya desde el vacío, que son son 2 de 15. Manejamos las bolsas también de costal de yute con bolsa grain de 30 kilos y los costales igual de 69 kilos.
Okay.
So did you get
like,
las tres presentaciones?
For me, I was saying like 12 to 20, 69 kg bags. Like that's what I had. So we can talk in terms of volume. Honestly, like if they can come in less heavy bags, I would be happy because I'm not like it's pretty heavy. Do 12 times 69 and 20 times 69, and that's what I had in mind.
Okay.
No, it's good.
Dice que sí, más o menos sería tonelada y media, 12 o 20 bolsas de 69 kilos, pero que está ideal si las tienes en más ligeritas, porque luego 69 pesa un montón.
50 kg is like the perfect bag for me.
Para nosotros es igual mucho más fácil y práctico mandarlas en 30 kilos. A mí me toca cargarlas a veces también.
He says that it's way easier for them to do like 30 kilogram bags because he has to carry them sometimes as well. So.
Oh, if he wants to do 15 kg bag, I don't care. Like we're just gonna have more bags. You know, this is fine. Like it's all good. Because honestly, like the way like a roastery is set up, like it's not really far, but like we have to drag the bags quite a bit, and like just doing 2 bags is fine. But like sometimes when you receive 2 pallets of coffee and you pile them 5 up and like whatever, like and my business partner Sophie is like is not the biggest lady, you know what I mean? Like she's 5'2", she's 5'2". She's really strong though, but like, you know, like it's still heavy. Anyway, it's just funny. Whatever he wants to do is fine.
Está contando un poco de las peripecias que tienen que hacer con bolsas tan grandes que no las puede cargar y eso. Pero bueno, de eso estamos riendo.
This is important, right? Because that way, it's probably one of the first times that you get to tell them, like, it doesn't work for you, well, it doesn't work for me either, right? So
I'll make it work because I don't have a choice, you know?
Exactly. Dice que, pues, normalmente les llegan de 69 kilos y si son pallets gigantes, pues me cuesta un montón arrastrarlos hasta adentro, dice, pero pues ahorita te puede decir de frente, oye,
no seas cabrón.
Si para ti están bien pesadas, pues para mí también. Mejor de
You know what, David?
Sí.
We use lots of 47, and that's perfect because it's
that's good.
It's 46 net, but the weight is 47 with the Jute bag and the Grain Pro, and you can carry those like easily. That's the one that we use.
Yeah, it's a big difference between 69 and 47. It's huge.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That was just like a side point, just because, see, that's why this is fun, because I get to talk about stuff like that, you know. In general, I just buy coffee, it comes in whatever bag it comes, and I just say, okay, that's my life now, you know. I don't. I have another question about like the more like approachable coffee, like 84 points, 83 points. Like I have a bunch of 83 points on my menu, and like people love them, you know. They're our best sellers, to be really honest. We roast them medium and medium plus. Sometimes we roast them dark. So we use a lot of those coffees. Mm-hmm. There's something that I see happening, like in Canada, I pay more attention because I roast in Canada. But I see this pretty much like kind of everywhere right now, and especially when it comes to Mexico. This year in Canada, I really didn't notice, except one or two roasters, like having a more common coffee, 84, 85, 86 points. And everybody that did Mexican coffee this year, it looked like they were doing super micro lot, really high scoring coffees from really high end stuff, charging a lot of money for it, pre-order, and then they just move to some other things, right? So it's kind of like a twofold question. So like the first question is, what percentage of like those really high scoring coffee is actually like a farmer's business? But in this case, like Pepe, you know what I mean? Like how much is this like the super high end stuff that he can charge more for? Is that 50% of his business? Is that 25%? Is that 5%? Like I have no idea. So that's my first part of the question. So I'll let you translate. And
Pepe dice que este año vio muchos cafés mexicanos, pero puro café. Él pregunta que qué porcentaje tú de ese café, o sea, tu café de especialidad, es lo que te trae de ganancia. O sea, si es el 50%, si es el 20%, si es un número. Es lo que él quiere saber.
Bueno, creo que la finca estamos cambiando como que el modelo de cómo trabaja una finca cafetalera en Chiapas, en mi caso. Nosotros, esta finca era 270 hectáreas, producían 15,000 quintales de café. Cuando la compramos quedó devastada, vacía, la dejaron de trabajar 10 años y volvimos a empezar desde cero. Y lo que estamos haciendo es sembrar menos café, realmente es menos café, cafés de variedades criollas, de típicas, borbones, máragos, de geishas. La idea es sembrar más poco, no sembrar 270 hectáreas, sino sembrar, no sé, 70 quizás, pero de alta calidad todos ellos. O sea, actualmente el volumen de café que sacamos en especialidad es el 90%. Nuestros cafés empiezan desde 84 puntos para arriba. Por el tema de buen corte, estamos en un muy buen lugar y el proceso de secado es lento, nuestro proceso de beneficio húmedo es lento, igual es más especializado. Tiene un grado más de dificultad hacerlo, pero tratamos de hacerlo todo así. y por eso no queremos meter tanto volumen para poder seguir manteniendo esta calidad en todo el café que producimos. Te hablo del 90 porque el siguiente 10 quizás ya son cafés, son cortes que ya quedan en la planta que pues, ya no pueden irse a la especialidad, ¿no? Y se van al mercado de volumen de aquí en México. Pero de ahí nuestros cafés de 84 puntos empiezan para arriba.
Okay. He's saying that when they bought this land that they're working on, it was 278 hectares.
Yep.
So they were producing about 15,000
Quintales.
quintales.
Yeah. How much is it? How much is a quintal? I forgot. 40 kg green in jute bags?
About 40, yeah.
Okay.
About 40 kg. He says that now they bought it when it was like that, but it was left alone for a couple of years. And now that they've started working on it again, they're only doing 70 hectares. And it's 90% of it is specialty coffee of 84 above points. So he says that probably about 10% of all of this is goes to kind of like the commodity market, which is what's left in the plant, and that doesn't meet all the requirements for specialty. Yeah, he says it's probably around only 10%.
That's below kind of like 84, and they just sell it for less money. It's 10%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
also, and again, like I don't have to know, but I'm just curious, like, could they, like, can they run like a successful farm, and could they live off of like only the highest scoring lists, like the geishas and like the maragos and all that stuff, right? What I'm trying to see, like, for me, what's difficult is like, I really love buying like 84-point coffees because people like it. It grows the pool of specialty coffee drinker in Canada because it's kind of more accessible. Like, I love geisha, don't get me wrong. Like, I would love to roast a bunch of all those coffees, but if you think about the big picture in general, you need to have those coffees that are a bit lower acidity, more approachable, and maybe not dark, but just like not light, you know, like medium kind of plus. So I just want to make sure that, like, if I buy like an 84-point coffee, that's like, it's still useful, like kind of to him in general, because I've heard some like, I've heard of like really specialized farm, and they only do like 90 or 80 point coffee, you know? But I feel that, like, in general, from talking to people, like, I go to Nicaragua every year, so I'm more familiar with this, but they say, yeah, if you buy like a crazy coffee, like, it's really fun for the exposure, but this is not, they told me this is like, it's fun for the exposure, but it's not what pays the bill, like at the farm. What pays the bill is the 83, 84, 85 point volume buys. That this is how we can reinvest in the farm with those, and not necessarily with the highest scoring points, because they receive more money, but it's also really labor intensive to produce those 92-point coffees, for example.
Of course. Dice que a él le interesaría mucho saber si comprarte los cafés de alta especialidad para ti es rentable. O sea, que dice que ha platicado que no sabe de México en específico, pero que al menos en Nicaragua, que es donde tiene más experiencia, le han dicho los productores que, ok, bueno, los cafés de 90 para arriba son muy buenos porque pues te dan exposición y eres pues muy sonado y bueno, la gente habla de ellos, ¿no? Pero que en realidad lo que paga las cuentas son los cafés de 84, 85 e incluso 83.
Decía casi el 90% que vendemos, lo vendemos desde el tema de especialidades de 84 puntos para arriba. Lo que hemos comercializado actualmente con la Nacional son los cafés más exclusivos que tenemos aquí en la finca. Y el tema de los cafés de volumen, de especialidad, también nos beneficia mucho porque realmente es como no sé, de ese 90% sería un 40%, un 50% es de cafés de 84 puntos. Para nosotros es nuestro volumen de especialidad. Sí nos es benéfico que nos compren ese café y también el tema de los lotes completos de un proceso o de un lote. Como ustedes vieron, nosotros dividimos los lotes por códigos. Cada código es un corte diferente, igual una variedad diferente, un proceso diferente, un secado diferente, y cada proceso tiene una ficha de catación y un volumen. Así lo presentamos nosotros a la venta. Y para nosotros, igual a veces sí es más conveniente poder vender un lote completo que pocos de ellos. También, de cualquier manera, a nosotros nos beneficia.
Claro. Sí, entonces, para resumir.
And also, like, maybe one of the last things I want to talk about is so we have this project that, like, we're going to launch the first series next week, and it's called Return to Origin. I think I told you a little bit about that when we talked on the phone. And so this first batch is going to be in Yunnan in China. So we are literally going to, like, split the profits of the sale of the coffee in Canada directly with this producing community in Yunnan, in the region that's called Gibuyan. It's a very small region, very remote, and they need some resources to, like, improve their coffee, improve their facilities. So we're going to do this. And because Mexico, volume-wise, is so Yunnan gives us a lot of exposure, but volume-wise, because of wholesale, Mexico is by far our biggest origin at the moment. Mm-hmm. So if he wanted to do some, bring value back to origin, especially if we buy a lot of coffee from there. So if it would be interesting in doing something like that, and to just, like, work with Rabbit Hole to, like, make this project possible. And I'm just like, what would be, like, what would that money, like, do for this? Would it be meant more for, like, the improvement of the coffee? Would it be meant more for, like, the improvement of the facility, of the trees, planting other varieties? I'm just, again, I just want to be very clear. It would not be my money. This would be Pepe's money. But I'm just curious to, like, how it would benefit, like, the origin if we do something like that, to really take a piece of a profit from, like, one coffee, and really we ship this to origin, and, like, Pepe just does whatever he wants with it.
Okay. Pepe nos está diciendo sobre el proyecto que tiene de regreso al origen, Return to Origin, y dice que la mitad de las ganancias se dividiría entre ellos y ustedes como finca, pero le gustaría saber en qué específicamente podría ser utilizado ese dinero, esos fondos, ya sea para mejorar la finca en sí, para mejorar las instalaciones, para, no sé, traer más variedades de plantas, o en qué piensas tú que sería la mejor forma de utilizar estos fondos que ellos recolectarían.
But I just want to say that, just to make really sure, like, this is just for my curiosity. I don't want to impose anything with that money. You know what I mean? It's really just, we just want to take a part of the profit so that everybody is profitable. You know, because if we don't exist, then it's bad for everybody that we buy from. And then if they don't make enough money, it's very bad for us here, and it's bad for you guys. So I'm just curious to see, like, how it would go, because, for example, like in Yunnan, I know exactly what they're going to do with it, and it just gives me an idea of, like, how, like, what's needed, but it varies from country to country. Like, but again, this is not my money. This would be the community's money, and he can do whatever he wants with it. Like, there's no strings attached at all. I just want to make that clear.
Oh, definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
Dice que quiere aclarar que obviamente el dinero no tiene ningún compromiso, o sea que el dinero ya sería dividido entre tú y ellos, y que es tuyo, o sea que ya es tu parte del trato, pero que sí le da un poco de curiosidad saber qué se necesita, o sea, en qué cosas de tu finca podría beneficiarse, pero que realmente lo que tú hagas al final con esto es totalmente tu decisión, pero que, pues, digo, empezar la conversación. Ellos están haciendo lo mismo con unos productores de Yunnan. Es una comunidad muy pequeña, localizada en un lugar muy remoto, y que saben más o menos para qué va a ser utilizado estos fondos que ellos van a recolectar, pero que al final lo importante del caso es que todos sepamos que este proyecto viene de que él reconoce la importancia de mantener a flote tanto su negocio como el negocio de ustedes, que al final, sin ustedes, pues no habría nada al final de la cadena, ¿verdad? Entonces, es como una retribución, pero al final también es para asegurarse de que todos tengan un final, sí, todos se beneficien de la relación.
Ok. No, sí, con todo gusto platico esa parte. Ahorita nosotros en la finca estamos en etapa de siembras nuevas, de meter variedades nuevas, de invertir todo a la parte del campo, porque a la parte de la producción de café. El tema de las instalaciones en la finca, instalaciones para beneficio húmedo, que es donde se procesa el café cereza, instalaciones de patio, de zarandas, todo eso, vamos haciéndolo de manera adecuada, pero quizás todavía medio improvisada. Creo que el tema de poder mantener la calidad que tenemos es disminuyendo los riesgos del proceso. Y algunos procesos los hacemos fuera de finca, que como puede ser la maquila del café, ¿no? Rentamos un lugar para maquilar el café. Nuestro objetivo de aquí a 3, 4 años es hacer todo aquí en la finca. El tema de retrilla, de selección manual, envasado y envíos, que salga el café listo desde aquí para poder evitar esos riesgos que podemos tener contratando sus servicios, ¿no? El tema también de la mano de obra. Nosotros aquí en Chiapas la mano de obra está dificilísimo conseguir y a muchos vecinos se les complica más por quizás el trato al trabajador, ¿no? En cómo están viviendo ellos en cada finca, qué están comiendo, si están comiendo bien, si la comida es suficiente para ellos. Nosotros tratamos de mejorar las comidas, tratamos de mejorar el lugar en donde duermen. Creo que lo fundamental ahorita para nosotros es eso, poder hacer espacios para que ellos puedan vivir bien mientras están en la temporada de corte acá. Creo que es de lo fundamental, porque sin la mano de obra, así como ustedes sin el café no pueden existir, nosotros no podemos existir sin la mano de obra. Y nosotros tratamos de tener trabajadores en la finca que no solo vengan una vez al año diferentes, sino tener gente que trabaje con nosotros ya conocida, pues.
Claro.
Que ellos solitos puedan venir y decir, en esta finca nos tratan bien, nos pagan bien, vivimos bien en esta temporada y vamos a regresar el siguiente año. Eso es lo más importante para nosotros aquí en la finca. Y también el tema de corte, ya no enseñarles a nuevos cortadores cada año cómo cortar, sino que ya tener familias o los grupos que pues ya saben, ¿no? Que ya estuvieron varios años acá y ya saben realmente cómo nosotros cosechamos el café. Todo esto es fundamental. Y digo, es una cadena. Mientras nosotros, como las cafeterías necesitan el café, nosotros a la mano de obra para poder producir un muy buen café.
Exacto. Okay. Well, he started by saying that the main goal for them in the next 3 or 4 years would be to do the entire processing of the coffee in their farm. As of right now, once the coffee needs to be dried up, they hire somebody. Well, they hire other people outside of the farm to do this for them. So the goal would be to finish all that process in farm, so they diminish all the risks of hauling all the coffee out and then back in to package and all of that. So getting all the right equipment and all of that would be one of their goals. But after that, he went on saying that the actual main thing right now would be to focus on the workforce and all the conditions for them. As of right now, sometimes they don't have the same people coming over and over again every year, so they have to train people every year on how to cut the coffee and how to do it, pick the coffee, and how to do it the right way. because most people are probably used to doing just commodity coffee picking, right? So they have to teach him all the specifics and all of that. So he would be way better if they could just have a certain amount of people that just go back every year. So they need to work on those added values for them to be returning, so they know that they will have better food or better accommodations.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
even all of that. So that would be their first thing to do. Just improve the quality of the food, probably even the amount, and accommodations for when they stay overnight and all of that.
Yeah.
So they know that they have a good place to come back every year, and they don't have to spend even time and effort in training every year, right?
That's really great.
That he's definitely working towards those goals anyways, but that it would be really helpful if
speed them up.
To chip in a little bit.
And I'm excited to roast all of them, but especially the geisha that I have, and also congratulations on the Cup of Excellence win. That's really fun, and I hope attention. It's delicious. So
perdimos un poquito. We lost a little bit of your audio in the end. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, my headphones are low on battery, I think, so
okay.
I'm just going to turn them off.
Bueno, Pepe decía que muchísimas felicidades por haber ganado la taza de excelencia, que está muy emocionado por probar tus cafés próximamente y que está emocionado por todo este proyecto que tenemos todos juntos.
¡Bravo!
No, pues, gracias. Gracias también por tomarse el tiempo a David y a ustedes también, Daniela, Julio. Para mí es fundamental la comunicación y la relación con ustedes y el cliente para nosotros nos llena mucho. Muchas gracias.
A nosotros también. So he's saying that thank you for your time, David, that it really makes...
Thanks for his time as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're all very lucky to be a part of this, I think. We all share that feeling, and we really appreciate everything. Yeah.
We're very excited because as a new company, and as a new group, we have the same perspective of the business, and we are very glad that we share those thoughts. And here we are, starting something that we see is going to have lots of future. So yeah, thank you for everything.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I hope that we can talk soon, everyone together.
Anytime.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's good. Muchas gracias, Pepe.
Last diario as well.
I think.
Muchas gracias.
Okay, está.
Muchas gracias. Le puse.
Okay. All set.